House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer, House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan. All right, this is an important day. Congressman Comer, I'll start with you. Let's talk about the major takeaways today and how real of a Joe Biden bribery scandal allegation is this?
Well, every day this bribery scandal becomes more credible. I mean, let's look at what Devin Archer testified today. He said that not only was Joe Biden on the phone over 20 times with people, including the Burisma executives, talking about whatever, even though the president denied that he never spoke to any of these people. He also said that Hunter Biden was under immense pressure while they both served on the Burisma board to call Washington, D.C. immediately and try to get Shokin fired. That's the Ukrainian prosecutor. And not many days later, Joe Biden traveled to Ukraine, and we've all seen the video where Joe Biden brags about withholding foreign aid to Ukraine in exchange for the Ukrainian president firing the prosecutor who was investigating his son's corrupt energy company.
Let me make sure we have the timeline here. So this is December 2015, if I'm not mistaken. That meeting took place in Dubai, and Zolochevsky was at that meeting, the owner of Burisma, the head of Burisma, and it was at that meeting they were desperate to get help from Joe Biden. Is that a fair assessment?
That's a fair assessment.
Okay, and then immediately thereafter, Joe traveled, and right after that, Joe Biden, I have the tape you're referring to. Let's remind people.
I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to press conference. I said, no, I'm not going to, we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son of a got fired.
Son of a B, they fired him, James Comer.
That's a quid pro quo, Sean. That's very illegal. We have evidence in this sworn testimony that from a fellow Burisma board member that they were pressuring Hunter to immediately get on the phone with his father and get this stopped. So, wow. You know, the evidence continues to mount. And today we saw Joe Biden has lied to the American people. He knew exactly who his son was getting those millions and millions of dollars of wires from, and he spoke to them, and he spoke to them often.
What other reason would they pay an admitted addict all that money, James Comer? Can you explain how does an admitted addict make all that money? What services then was he offering if Joe was not the brand?
Well, Devin Archer testified that they were influence peddling. We've wondered what the business was. I suspected it was influence peddling, but we heard today from someone on the inside. It was influence peddling. They sold Joe Biden. That's what the business was. And Joe Biden himself talked to every single person that has wired money to the Bidens. I mean, you've got a situation here where you look at those people who were wiring the money. A lot of those people aren't the most credible people in their countries. There are a lot of people who are in a lot of trouble in many of these countries who were sending wires to the Biden family. They needed help. They needed help from the government. That's why they paid the Biden family. They were influence peddling. And what Jim Jordan just mentioned, the FARA violations, that's Foreign Agents Registration Act, we know that Hunter Biden has violated that. Even the judge in Delaware last week cited that as one reason why she rejected the sweetheart plea deal. But what this did today, in my opinion, is open the door. Did Joe Biden violate the Foreign Agents Registration Act? Because he was an active participant in at least one deal we know of with the Burisma deal. He was actively participating in doing a benefit to this foreign agent for this foreign country, and he was withholding American tax dollars in the form of foreign aid for that. I mean, this is very serious. Today took a huge step towards implicating Joe Biden in many of these crimes. We're going to continue to press forward in our investigation.